So I'm only going to be talking about two topics today since there's not a whole lot of movie news going on. So the first topic I want to talk about, and this is the biggest news today, is that the second Avengers Doomsday teaser has officially been released, which I figured out was coming. It got leaked online. The first teaser got leaked online and then was officially released. I think they're going to do that for teaser 3 and 4. I know there's rumors going around that a fifth teaser is coming and then there's going to be like a full trailer. Whether that turns out to be true, we'll see. I know the teaser 3 and 4 have been confirmed. So I had a feeling this was going to get officially released. And I think this is a great second teaser. Like, I'm really liking the tone of these teasers so far. So far, like, the Captain America one and the Thor one both have this kind of somber, serious tone, so I'm really liking that. Where you feel, no pun intended, like the doom coming, like this impending doom coming, where you're like, okay, this feels like this has, like, just, this is gonna be one of the more serious MCU movies. So I'm liking the tone of these teasers, and I'm really liking how to kind of like character base. Like, I didn't love the first teaser. I didn't think it was bad either. I was just a little underwhelmed by this. I do like this teaser better, and there's one reason why, because you get some dialogue in this teaser. And I think the dialogue just made this teaser more emotional because it feels like you got a little bit more in this teaser with the dialogue. Like, I love how in this teaser you see Thor in the woods going to pray to Odin, his father. And you see him praying to make it out of this nice nest fight alive to get back to his daughter. I'm also noticing kind of a kid's theme with the characters where you saw Cap with a baby in the first teaser. You see Thor praying to come back to his daughter, Love, who he decided to raise, which was the character in Full Love and Thunder. That was the daughter of the god. I think the villain was called God the Buster or something like that, and the Christian Bale's villain in that movie. And then the Fantastic Four post credit scene had Doom looking like he was playing with Reese's and Sue Storm's kid in that post credit scene. So I'm noticing kind of a kid's theme where you have like a Kness in there. So I'm curious, like in these next two Avengers movies, are the kids gonna play like a big role in these next two Avengers movies? Like I know Steve Rogers' this kid is only a baby, but I'm definitely noticing a connection between like how you having like all these characters with kids. So I'm curious if the kids of these characters are gonna play like big roles in the Avengers movies. I love this teaser though because again, I love the tone. I also just love seeing this emotional story. He's just praying to make this fight alive, make this fight to come out alive to be with his daughter. And seeing Thor as a father, I think, is really interesting. Him talking about being wont to her and how having stillness that he never could have and being a warrior. And I just think this, like, I can't remember what the exact lines are in the teaser. Just seeing him though, like, go to pray to Odin, I think this is a great emotional moment. You really feel it in this teaser. I think the dialogue, like I said, really helps this teaser because, like I said, with the first teaser, there was no dialogue in that. I feel like with this teaser, since you get dialogue, you just get more out of this. And Chris Hemsworth, I've loved him as Thor. He's one of the big three in the MCU. He was the part of the Trinity. And this also makes me curious: is he going to make it out of this alive? Because I know there's rumors going around about Thor 5, and watching this, I'm not so sure if he's going to be back after these next two Avengers movies. Because you really feel like in the season that he might not make it out of these next two Avengers movies. And I think if you kill him off, it would definitely hit fans because he is part of the big three. When I think about the Infinity Saga, the MCU, Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America were the hearts of the MCU. They're the big trinity. It's like how with DC you have Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. In my opinion, with the MCU, it was Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. And I think if you kill Thor off, that would definitely hit people hard. Especially and also when you just see him as a father and just praying that he'll come back to be with his daughter. I just think this is a great emotional teaser. And as someone who was like underwhelmed by the first teaser but didn't hate it, I thought this was a better teaser because you had dialogue in this. I just feel like you got more out of this teaser. And Chris Evans' performance just looks really great in this teaser. Where I feel like you really feel the heart for the character, even though it's only 1 minute and something like it's a short teaser. It's only like over slightly over 1 minute. So, but at the same time, you get just a lot of out of this teaser because of most. And so I love the teaser. I thought this was a great teaser, and I'm definitely excited for. Like I know the third teaser's already got leaked, and I'm not going to talk about it because it has been officially released. But I'm definitely going to put up a video talking about that third teaser when it does get officially released. So I believe it'll be sometime this week. Overall, I thought this was a great second teaser, and again, I really love how these are character based, and and I love the idea of just marketing a movie like this, where you have people constantly talking about this movie like a TV show, like how people would watch an episode in a week of a TV show, and then they'll be discussing like what's gonna happen next. And I love how they're marketing this, like I said, like kind of like a TV show to me, where it's like, okay, what's you get people talking and theorizing and cited for the next teaser. So overall, I thought this was a great second teaser. I cannot wait for Avengers Doomsday. And even though the MCU has been up and down during the multiverse saga, I don't think the build-up's been there. I think at the end of the day, seeing for me personally, the reasons I'm excited for this is that seeing Doctor Doom as the villain, who I think is a great villain in the comics and has not been done, in my opinion, right at all in previous Fantastic Four movies. I think it could be really compelling to see him as a villain because of how much of a great character he is in the comics. I mean, Doctor Doom has not been done right at all in past movies. And I'm hoping with this version that we get a really great Doctor Doom with depth. And I think with Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, he's a great actor. I think he's going to bring a lot of depth to the character. So that's my thoughts on the second teaser. The second topic I wanted to talk about, I thought this would just be fun to talk about, is that so the most anticipated movies according to Google, the list of most anticipated movies according to Google, I saw an article that they put up for this, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about just to go over the list and see the movies that are the most anticipated and see if I agree with that or if I don't agree with that. So you have at number one. I agree with this number one. The rest of them I don't really have any order. The number one movie, Avengers Doomsday, I agree with that being the most anticipated. I talked about this in a past video. I think Avengers Doomsday is going to be the highest grossing movie of the year because of the fact that even though you haven't had the build up, at the end of the day, in my opinion, these movies are like the Avatar movies. They're event movies. To me, they're the one MCU movies I see people getting excited for no matter what and aren't going to be skipping. Like to me, if there's one MCU franchise, in my opinion, that are like the Super Bowl, the event movies that everybody's gonna go see, it will be that to me. It will be Avengers Doomsday, and I think the way to market this movie, I think is great actually because I think it keeps people talking about the movie. So I think Avengers Doomsday, I definitely agree with that being number one personally. I know it's one of my most anticipated movies of next year. Spider-Man Brand New Day being number two. I would I would agree with that being on the list also because there's so much hype around this Spider-Man movie. The fact that you have a new director, you have the Shang-Chi director who did a great job with Shang-Chi. There's so much speculation online about who the girl from Stranger Things is playing and what the plot is. From what we're hearing, that's going to be a multiverse story while being a street level story. So I'm curious how it's going to like balance that out with those two sides of the story that this movie is going to be. And look, the last Spider-Man movie made 1.9. It made nearly 2 billion. The previous Spider-Man movie before that made 1 billion. Far From Home. Homecoming made over 800. That Tom Holland trilogy was well received and very successful financially. So I have no doubt in my mind that Spider-Man Brand New Day is one of the most anticipated movies. I agree that it's one of my most anticipated movies of the year, definitely. Toy Story 5 is number three. I agree with that too because the Toy Story movies are beloved. They make a lot of money. Like I've loved all the Toy Story movies. I thought the first three was a great trilogy. I thought Toy Story 4 was also great, and that movie made 1 billion to Toy Story 4, and it was well received. They've all been well received. The Toy Story movies, and they're some of the most beloved animated movies. So I think it's definitely Toy Story 5. I would agree with that too. I think that movie's gonna make a lot of money. I definitely think it's gonna make 1 billion. Like to me, the first three, I definitely think will make 1 billion. Avengers Doomsday, I think, has a shot at 2 billion, but that all comes down to if it's really good and the legs it has at the box office. Like I'm 50-50 on it reaching 2 billion Avengers Doomsday. I do think it will be a billion easily though. Spider-Man Brand New Day, I think that has a shot reaching a billion because the last two Spider-Man movies somehow was made a billion and the last one came close to 2 billion. So I agree with Toy Story 5 being number three. Scream 7, the Scream movies don't make like big amount of money. They usually make over 100 at the box office, but they all high budget movies. So, and I would put that on anticipated list because I know I'm excited for it personally, and I think a lot of Screams are excited for it. And I thought that first trailer was great. So, and seeing the Sydney character back, I think gets a lot of Scream fans excited for the movie. So that would be on my list. I agree with that. Supergirl number five, I agree with that too. I'm really excited for Supergirl personally. I thought the trailer was great, and I'm excited for this new DC universe. So far, they've been on to me a good to great track record so far. So I can't wait for Supergirl personally. The Cat in the Hat, which is I think the animated movie, Doctor Seuss animated movie. I don't know if I really agree with that because for me personally, I don't have any interest in this movie. Like the only probably I could see why this would be on the list is because I could see a lot of kids going to see it. I thought the trailers looked really bad personally to me, and it just didn't look funny at all. I'm not a Dr. Seuss person either, so I no matter what trailer you put out, I would not have been interested in this movie. So this wouldn't be on my list, The Cat in the Hat, personally. Masters of the Universe number seven. I'm excited for that. You have the guy who did Bumblebee direct that and Kubo and Two Strings. I love those two movies. Bumblebee I think is the best live action Transformers movie. And I'm somebody who grew up on the Master Universe 2003 anime series, not the original anime series. 2003 anime series is the one that I love that I grew up on, so I am a Master Universe fan. So I'm definitely that would be on my list personally. Like I'm really excited for Masters of the Universe because of the director and the fact that the 2003 anime series, I love that anime series. So I would put that on my list. Number eight, Street Fighter. I can see this being on a list. I'm not like a big Street Fighter person. I haven't liked any of the previous Street Fighter movies. Like I've liked some of the games. I remember playing one of the Street Fighter games PS2 a lot. So I would say I'm a casual Street Fighter fan. I'm not like a hardcore big Street Fighter fan. Like I'm more a Mortal Kombat fan than I am a Street Fighter person. And that trailer they put out came from the Game Awards. I thought that trailer looked really bad. Even though I understand, I've seen a lot of fans say it's very accurate towards the game, and it does look accurate towards the game. I will give that Street Fighter trailer credit for that. I think at times it looks a little too accurate, when it looks a little goofy to me. At the same time, I'm like, you know what? This looks like it's going to be a movie made for the fans that really love Street Fighter games, and I can see this movie making some money because of the fact that I think fans are really excited for it. So I can see that being on the list, but I can understand why that would be on the list. Street Fighter. It wouldn't be on my list personally. Like I'm interested in it, but it's not like one of my most anticipated movies. The next thing is The Odyssey at number nine. So I agree with that. I think that movie actually has a shot to make a billion personally. I could be off on that, but I think that movie is. I think there's a lot of hype with that movie. I think the trailer looked great for it, and it's a Christopher Nolan movie. I think to me personally, I think Christopher Nolan is a one director in Hollywood you can look at and go like, oh yeah, his name is attached to the movie. I'm going to be excited for it because it's Christopher Nolan. Like there's very few directors I can say that about where it's like, yes, I'm going to go see that movie because of the director. And to me, Christopher Nolan, he's made so many movies that I love, and it's just I see his name attached. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go see that movie. And the trailer, like I said, was fantastic, and I cannot wait for that movie personally. Number 10 is I probably am pronouncing the title of this movie wrong. So correct me in the comments. Wuthering Heights, which I have not heard of that one, so I don't really have any thoughts on the movie that's number 10 on this list because I haven't heard of this movie, Wuthering Heights. Let me know in the comments if that movie looks really good. I haven't heard of it personally. So overall, I would say there's five, six, seven. I would say 7 out of 10 movies are movies that I'm excited for. When it comes to Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Toy Story 5, Scream 7, Supergirl, Masters of the Universe, and Odyssey, the ones I'm excited for. Street Fighter, I'm interested in, not like really excited for though. And Red Oak Heights, I've never heard of. Cat in the Hat is the one that I would say I have the least interest in. The Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss animated movie. Overall, though, like I said, 7 out of 10, I'm really excited for, and I could definitely see a lot of these movies being really big hits, and I hope they all turn out to be really good to great movies. Hopefully, that's the thing about every time you start a new year of movies, like it's just being excited. Like, okay, is this movie gonna be really good? Is this movie gonna end up being really good to great? Or is it gonna be disappointing? We'll see. But I'm always excited when it's a new year, a brand new stash of movies to get excited about. So that's all the movie topics today. Until next time, movie fans.